Good evening, everyone. We're coming to you from Lanier Speedway, just about an hour northeast of Atlanta in Brazelton, Georgia. We're here at the 3/8 mile dirt oval. Um, just watching these guys practice right now. My colleague Jeremy Rittenberg's here with me. Seems like everybody in practice right now is on the bottom of the track, probably trying to set an early, fast lap time, get up on the board pretty quick. What do you expect the group to do tonight, Jeremy?
Well, I think this is going to be one of them tracks that you're going to start off on the bottom, and it's going to wear in pretty quickly. So you're going to have to adapt pretty quick and move your way to the top. And hopefully, you can keep that speed going from low to high.
Well, the cool thing about this track is essentially you're in a controlled slide the whole time. The car never really gets completely wide open. So I think both lanes are going to open up. Starting to see a good field come into here. Looking like about 10 drivers at the moment. So Touring Shirts is on top of the board. Just slightly edging Kurt Rittenberg, and then Blake O'Connell's third. Last week's winner, Matt Miller's sitting there in practice. He's just basically a 10th off. And tonight in the main, he's going to be going to the tail end. Slight little punishment there for winning last week, but it wouldn't surprise me a bit if he got back to the front to win tonight.
Man, I'll tell you what, implementing that rule, last week's winner during this week starts at the rear. It makes for some exciting racing. When you're the fastest guy of all of last week, you decide to come in this week thinking you're going to win 2 in a row. You're going to have to make it all the way. You're going to have to pass everyone to get up front. It really makes it exciting.
It does, and one thing different tonight about last week is we're running 75 laps tonight as opposed to 50, so he's going to have some time to get there. But one thing about this league, there's not a lot of caution, so he's going to have to make that up on mostly green flag laps. So it's going to be a challenge for him. It'll be interesting to see what the track does and what areas he's going to run in. See if he's going to run different lines than other people, and make sure nobody takes away what he's trying to run or the lines he's trying to use to progress forward.
That's what's also nice too here is normally we don't have that many cautions, if any. And even when you're doing that, we're still here running it's a custom setup, but it's fixed for everyone, so everyone's running the same setup. And with the skill level these guys have, it's going to be a fight, because it pretty much puts everyone on an even playing field. It's going to be interesting to watch and see if he can come from behind and do a row.
Well, I'm excited to get underway, and we're going to sit here and watch a little practice and come back to you at the start of this first heat race. See you soon, guys. Back here at Lanier National Speedway in Brazelton, Georgia. Scott Brotherton here with my co-host Jeremy Rittenberg. This is the Misfit Motorsports Dirt Street Stock League. Practice is just about up. Got about 30 seconds left. We're going to see 3 heat races coming up. All about 8. Well, they're going to take about 10 minutes, 8 laps. Then we'll have the B main and the feature. So far, Touring Shirts has paced practice. But the big story I see is Kurt Rittenberg sitting there in second. You think he's got a car for him tonight, Jeremy?
Man, I don't know anymore. Last week he had a heck of a run. And the track changed on him so much that I don't think he adapted fast enough. So I think he's going to start looking for that. And I think he's going to be ready for that. So it's hard to say what he's going to come up with now. Especially now that we don't have qualifying.
Well, maybe he will take some lessons learned from last week and apply that and start looking around for different lines as the track changes early and learn that stuff in these early races before the main event. The field's on the grid. Pace truck's there. We're about to roll off here. The man we were just talking about, Kurt Rittenberg's on the pole for this one. Got Michael Guerin on the outside. Kevin Prettyman in third. Trevor Baker there on the outside of second row. 51 of Brandon Thomas and a 33 of Touring Shirts. Rounds out this field. Should be a good race. Kurt's going to have his handfuls. He's got some good dirt wheel men behind him. He's going to have to get off to a quick start. Try to leave them. Here we go. And the 97 of Michael Guerin gets a big start. I don't know if that was too big. Oh, we already got a wreck. We got Kevin Prettyman into the wall. 97 still to the outside of Kurt. It's the outside of the groove there. Kurt's going to get a good run here off of turn 4. Still in the lead. He's got Trevor Baker just getting close to that bumper. Kurt had a little bit too much wheel in it right there. Trevor's going to get to the outside of him here. Looks like Trevor's already trying to go to the outside. Michael Guerin and Brandon Thomas about to go to battle here. Brandon's inside. Nice pass there. Trevor decided to go back to the inside now and try to work on the 00 of Kurt Rittenberg. Kurt's hanging in there. Jeremy, I think Kurt might have been listening to us in the pre-race. I've seen him running both ends of the racetrack. Top lane and bottom lane switching with Trevor, so seems to be working for him.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this is just like last week. Kurt run that high line, and he basically forced everyone low. He just couldn't get that run. Looks like Trevor may squeeze him out here.
Got to 33 and the 97 getting together back there a little bit, no harm. Oh, Kurt just got really, really loose there. Had a lot of wheel in that car. Trevor's probably about to take off from him. It's going to scrub a lot of speed from the 00. There's the checker for Trevor. Heat 2's coming right up. Not a bad race there. A little bit of contact, but everybody was pretty clean there for a bit. Got the cars gridded here. We got John Moncurn pole. We got Blake O'Connell on the outside pole. Tell you what, I've been racing with Blake for a couple years, and this kid's turned into a really good little racer. Wouldn't surprise me to see him win this one. Got Mike Perry on the inside of the second row, Ed Burrell, and then Matt Miller. Matt Miller was last week's winner. Again tonight, he's going to be going to the tail end of the field for the win last week. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see him drive from the back of this heat race and win this one also. Base truck leaves the track. Green flag's out. Moncurn gets a good jump. Perry's already to the inside of Blake O'Connell, trying the really low side of the racetrack. It's hard to get that car straightened out when you're that low. There's a big slide. He gets into Blake. Blake's gonna tail whip the wall there, and that's what John Moncurn wants to see. All these guys battling behind him. All he's got to do is hit his marks. 3 wide back there behind Mike Perry. Everyone just seems to be holding court in this race. Just trying to feel the track out, learn the lines, learn what the track's going to do. I think these guys might be saving something for the end. '22 starting to make a little bit of gains on Moncurn. It's going to be too little too late. Big slide there. That's going to give the white flag there to Moncurn last lap. He's going to hit his marks here and just bring it home. I have a feeling these guys were just feeling things out, learning what their car is going to do for the later races. What do you think, Jeremy?
Oh, absolutely. They, yeah, very little contact, a little bit at the beginning, but that's kind of what you expect from these street stocks. Looked like everyone, like you said, got in their line, got used to this track, and it's going to get pretty exciting here real quick.
Well, that's what's fun about these cars too. Is these guys can bang off each other, bang off the wall, and it doesn't just destroy their car, destroy their night. We got a 5-minute warm up here, and then we're slide straight into the feature. I think this might be a good time to pay some bills. Jeremy, what do you think?
I think so. Of course, we're going to have to thank War Shocks and Suspension and DXP for helping us put this on. Two great groups of guys here. Should see a couple of them cars out there running some laps, so maybe we can take this opportunity to talk to one of them guys, see if we can see how that track's running out there.
Let's do it. Why don't you ring up? Let's ring up John Mon. Hey, John, it's Scott and Jeremy in the booth. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good, man. How's the car tonight?
Oh man, that's the first 10 laps I've ran with that setup, and it felt real good.
Yeah, it did look good, man. It looked once you took off on that initial start there, man, it just took off and seemed like all you had to do is hit your marks and nobody's gonna catch you. Got to be a good feeling.
I just want the track to blow off a little bit on the bottom, so we'll see, man. It's gonna be a great race, and man, appreciate everything you guys are doing up there in the booth.
No problem. You think it's gonna stay kind of a bottom groove racetrack?
For the most part in the beginning, but the gear that's in the car is dominant on the top, I feel.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too. I'll be anxious to see if these guys just go straight to the top. Looks like it's about 25 feet off the wall where the groove is right now, and just keep trying to work in a little more groove since he mentioned that info about the gear and what it takes to keep the RPMs up in the center of the corner and get that car straight off the exit as quick as they can.
Speaking of running up there at the top, what do you say we dial up Kurt and see what he thinks? He seems to like that top side.
Sounds good. Kurt, how's it going out there, man?
It's going.
You were second fastest in practice and in that first heat race. I mean, you looked good. Second place run. You got to be feeling good about it.
I knew I had to hang on to the bottom line, but it was getting a little too loose on me, and then Trevor just basically outdrove me, and so hopefully I can get her out in the first place. If not, hopefully a top 5 for sure.
Well, it looks like the bottom's going to be fast, and sounds like a couple other drivers we talked to are wanting to slide up just a little bit and try to work in a middle to top groove. So hopefully we'll see you guys side by side and some good racing tonight.
I sure hope so. Hopefully that's where I was planning on running. It looks like the second groove's coming in the middle, so hopefully I can get the car to grip right there and take off. Hopefully coming first tonight. I don't want to lose this one.
Well, good luck to you. We're about 45 seconds away. We're excited to watch it. Good luck, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh man, I'm getting pumped up. Checking out this track now. Low line is just starting to get wrecked already. See, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 guys moving up, maybe a little above middle. If you're going to want to pass, you're going to have to go low, but it's who can hold it is what's going to be the question.
Yeah, I'm watching it too, and it's getting really dusty. And that dust is being created from them trying to work in that extra groove. I think we're going to see an awesome race. It's about to widen out, and we only got 75 laps for these guys to get that groove widened out. So I think you're going to see a couple different lanes of racing, and it's going to keep working in another one as we go. So I'm excited to see how it builds. Pace trucks on the grid now. Cars are loading up. I'm excited to see this. Oh, something happens to John there on the start. I don't know if he missed a gear. Trevor gets out to a great start. 3 wide already in there. What luck for Kurt. Is that going to bring the caution out? Oh, yeah, they're wrecking everywhere. Man, I hate to see that for Kurt. Looks like John got in the center of the corner and the car just went straight and he turned Kurt, and you know, there goes the 33 sliding in front of Kurt. Blake O'Connell has nowhere to go. Ed has nowhere to go. Can't stop. Lots of damage on a lot of cars. The good thing, though, we're in these big old tough street stocks. They can take some damage. Pace truck's off. We're going to go at it again. Trevor with a big jump. Brandon Thomas, big restart. He gets down in front of John Monkern. The 97 car will just not turn. He must have so much damage. Push straight up in the middle of the corner. Jeremy, one guy we haven't talked about all night is Brandon Thomas, and he's making a run for the lead.
And he's coming. These 3 guys back here, Trevor, Brandon, and John, they're not going to get this one up easy. They're
not at all.
Somewhat running the same line. Brandon's going a little lower, but they may be just doing it right here, 75 laps, kind of getting the field again. See where they're going to run out. This is kind of blown out of the bat. And get ready for the end of this.
Brandon seems really good from the center off. He might just be content with riding right there and try to get Trevor to make a mistake. No, he just stuck it under there. Had a lot of wheel in it, couldn't make the pass. Looks like Kurt Rittenberg's trying to work in a really high line. Either that or he's a little angry inside that cockpit. Tell you who else is having a good run tonight. Ed Burrell in that 21 sitting there in 4th place.
Looks like the track's starting to really come to him. He's actually starting to make up some ground on 36 and John. And doing it fairly quickly.
He is. The 33 you just saw there coming off pit road. Got some repairs done. Starting to slowly see that 78 amount creep into the picture as well.
He's coming as much as that low line is starting to move away. He stays just under the 22 of Mike Berry. He seems to be holding it really well, though.
He does, but I tell you, the closer and closer you get to that top 5, they're harder and harder to pass. And I've sat here and watched the last 5 laps, and the 22 seems to get to the 7. But once he gets there, you just can't do anything with him. So it's looking like it's tough to pass. A lot of these guys running the same exact line. And they could be fooling us. Just sitting here logging laps for a little while. What we saw at the start of this race wasn't very typical for Misfit Motorsports. This series is usually caution-free or one caution in the race. And the contact with John Monker occurred. I don't think that was anything intentional at all. John just, the car seemed to straighten out and sit in the corner and get into him. It's not what we usually see with these guys. Oh, Trevor got really loose there. Brandon had to get out of it not to take him out.
Oh man, we're getting raced up front now, boys.
We are. But John's starting to go to the outside.
Yeah, I think John's had enough of watching these guys. He wants to.
Yeah, it's time to go. Tell you, if these guys get to racing pretty close side by side, if John can get up there, that's going to allow Ed to catch up, and we're going to have a heck of a battle here in a few. The 36 car is really starting to settle in. He puts that left front right on the right rear of Brandon Thomas's car. He just follows it around perfectly. 36 is running great laps.
Tell you what, Scott, we got the 21, 22, and 7 back here. We got a nice three-way battle going on as well.
22's really gotten to the back of the 7 now. Blake slid up out of the groove there a bit. Ed's putting that thing right down on the fence, and just as I say that, yeah, he was a little bit too low. He had that thing pointed straight at the fence. I don't know how he brought it back. And the 21, or 20, yeah, 22 and the 21 at Ed there, the contact. But you know, going back to the front of the field as I watch Brandon, I really wish he would switch his line to the high side if he could get a chance to roll out a little bit right there on the straightaway and try to enter high and see. It looks to me that he's faster than Trevor. He's just got to change his line.
You know, though, you got to go over the game. I think he's kind of getting that nice groove going. He's getting it. He knows he can get in there. I think if he gets a good run coming in, he may be able to slide up to the side, and then the next turn he can dive right in and slide right up in front.
You can just look at the groove there in 3 and 4 up. Kurt's working that bottom pretty hard. Jeremy, why don't we let everybody watch the view from inside Brandon Thomas's 51 vehicle? just to see how much he's sawing on that wheel, how that car. His exit speed seems really good. He's having to roll out and keep off of Trevor a lot. This 51's a fast race car tonight. Closing in on 35 laps to go, and it seems like guys are getting stretched out a little bit. Matthew Miller, last week's winner, still trying to work his way back to trying to get to the outside of Kurt Rittenberg. Jeremy, are you hearing some things down on pit road about possible fuel issues for these cars?
Just thinking about that. 75 laps. It's one of the few that we do have. I'm just hoping and wondering if that was planned for. We're gonna see though. She's too late now. We gotta run it dry. Tell you what, for running right now though, apparently these lap times, one of these guys we're gonna have to watch out for is Blake. So.
Yeah, I mentioned that there before this race started, or I think it maybe before his heat race. I guess I've been racing with Blake for a few years now, and the kid's come a long way. He's gotten really fast on too. He's one of the guys you watch every week for sure. And he's slowly creeping into the picture. He's catching John every lap.
I've been watching the last 2 or 3 laps of his, and if he's not equal to running as fast as Trevor, it's actually a 10th quicker. So I wouldn't quite count him out yet. 25 to go. If he can pull it off, one, it'd be a heck of a comeback.
Well, Blake can catch John, possibly. But I think we're looking at Trevor Baker, Brandon Thomas. Trevor's starting to catch a little bit of traffic here. I doubt it's going to slow him up any. Brandon's starting to come up off that bottom groove a little bit and see what that 51 car is going to do.
Yeah,
He might get faster here because you know he hasn't run up off that bottom line yet because he kept trying to run just underneath Trevor a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what his car does if he moves up a bit.
Talk about catching people. 78's got the 00.
Yeah, as we watch that battle, 78 gets under him. He just can't seem to clear him, and he might this time by. Kurt swings it real wide off there.
They're done.
You see Kurt in there stalling on that thing.
A tale of two lines. You can't get any lower or any higher than these two
Yep.
right now.
What a great race. Thought Matt was going to try a little slide job there. Didn't do it. Now he's going to clear him. Oof.
Well, we can say Kurt ain't giving up yet.
No. Matt might have brushed the fence there a little bit. Kurt's way low. Kurt was down there running that Ed Burrell line. You see who's creeping in the picture behind these two guys? Trevor Baker. So you got last week's winner, 78, just wasn't able to get through the field. Kurt just about hit the pit wall there. So he's going to go a lap down here in probably a couple laps here to Trevor. Trevor's catching these two pretty quick. I am excited to get the season started next week, though. I tell you, it's tough for to get people out sometimes for exhibition races. We had a good field tonight. We'll definitely get people out for points races when the season starts, and that's when it's going to get exciting. There's a lot of other people that'll come out that'll give these guys a run for their money.
Oh, and that's kind of brings up the caution at the beginning of the race. You know, it's you've been in this position. It's that pre-race jitters. You're ready to go. You just got these races out of the way. I mean, everybody needs a good race now. So, you know, now that everyone's kind of settled in, we've seen some great battles out here. I mean, even Kurt in the double O right now with the leader is not just letting him go.
Yeah. But trust me, I'm well aware of bringing out cautions in dirt races. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. But, right, you're right. Kurt tried to hold him off there, but Trevor's just a bit unstoppable tonight.
That's also the thing here, man. You find that groove, get in that rhythm. You start settling in, and especially in this league here, with this the least amount of cautions that we do have, you're able to get, you're able to feel what that track is doing over and over and over again, and you just kind of settle in and go. Once you find that rhythm, just like Trevor's showing us tonight, he is cruising.
He is, and he hasn't strayed pretty much at all from he's run the same line all night long. And that's where he needs to be, because he kept the 51 from getting to his outside. Kurt just saw Kurt in the frame there go way up towards the wall. But he was able to keep that line and keep the 51 from getting to his outside. And that's what you got to do. Take it away from him. Don't give him the option.
We've got 5 laps to go, and looks like 7. Blake caught John.
Yes, he has. And that's another thing about this league, as we watch Trevor catch the 78 here, is, you're looking at last week's winner getting ready to go a lap down. It's just the kind of talent we have in the field here. Different people winning every week.
Got Blake and John going at it with lap traffic here.
Kurt tried to get out of their way. He's way up top, letting Blake get a run at John here. Look at that. Blake's carrying a ton of speed off of that corner. This is going to be a battle, right? Oh, John's got a lot of wheel in it. Blake's going to get by him here pretty easily.
Oh, not too easy. Look at John dive bomb that entrance to that corner.
Wow. Nice. We'll let the winner here do a little burnout for a minute and get a word with him. Trevor, Scott, and Jeremy in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Man, that was a bit of a clinic tonight.
I don't know about that. I just I got lucky starting out front and kept my nose clean the entire time.
Man, I'd love to be that lucky. So the 51 gave you a battle there the first 30 laps or so, and it seems like you didn't stray from your line all night. And I think one of the biggest things you did there was just keeping Brandon from the ability to go to the outside to give you a run there. Just forcing him on the bottoms probably what kept him from getting around you. Would you say?
Yeah, keeping that momentum up on that high side, not letting anyone out there to get to you was a big key there. And then I kind of, once that high side evened out, I moved down to the bottom, was finally able to separate myself from there at the end.
Well, you ran a great race, man. It looks like going to be some good momentum heading into the start of the season next week. Looking forward to watching you racing.
Yeah, it's fun coming out here with you guys every week. This fixed setup really has bunched the field back up, and it's really anyone's race. You got to, hopefully do good in your heat and start up front each week, because I think it's going to be hard to pass week in, week.
Yeah, we saw that as, the 78 won last week and was go to the back because of that win, and he could not drive to the front of the field, couldn't make passes. So track position is definitely going to be important this year. So congrats again, man, and good luck. Start of the season next week.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, man. Let's see if we can get Brandon Thomas. Brandon, you got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, that was a great race. He was giving Trevor a run for his money there the first 30, 35 laps. That bottom looked good for you. Were you just hesitant to go to the outside there for a while, or just your car worked the best on the bottom and wanted to wait till that groove was worked in a little better up there?
I felt like the bottom would be the place to be, and I think it was. I don't know if I was just hitting the line wrong or what, but coming off the turns is where he was just killing me. I couldn't keep the momentum up.
We rode in your in car there for a little bit, and some of the laps we watched, it looked like you were really getting off the corner well. I don't know if it's the same time you were talking about, but it seemed like you were having to roll out a little bit and stay off of Trevor. But he was a little tough tonight, but I'm sure that's good momentum for you heading into next week to get a second place run here tonight.
It is. I was real impressed. I know we had that lap one incident, but the racing is really tough and really fun, so I enjoy it.
Good deal. We'll talk to you next week, man. Great run.
Thanks, sir.
Yep. All right, Jeremy. Well, it looks like we're going to get this thing fired up next week, and points will be on the line. I'm sure we'll see some different racing out of different guys, but it was a great field tonight, and we saw some guys that have some runs that they needed to be a little better than they have been last couple races, and figure out some things and figure out this fixed setup stuff. It's gonna bunch people up, and it's gonna make the field tighter, and that makes it a lot more fun for us.
I was just going to say, with this fixed setup, just like Trevor mentioned in his interview, it's going to tighten everybody up. Now you don't have to worry about your setup. You're going to have to worry about where you finish in your heat races, and you're going to have to try to start up front, or you are going to have a problem, as we've seen Matt Miller have tonight. You know, he had to start in the back, and once you have to try to pass that many people with the same setup, and once that track starts going away, it makes it just that much more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. It's it makes every time you put that car on the racetrack and as to where you run and your track position. So we saw a good race here tonight. A couple good heat races, and feature was basically a lesson to everybody from Trevor that he might be sending a signal he's a guy to beat next year. Touring shirts will be there, I'm sure. We saw a strong run out of Kurt. Brandon looked good. Blake was really fast. John was good. There's so many guys, man. I just don't even know what's going to happen.
That's what I love about it. We can't tell what's going to happen, but I'll tell you what, we'll be here next week to find out.
Absolutely, man. You have a good night. Everybody out there listening, have a good night. For Misfit Motorsports, I'm Scott Brotherton and Jeremy Rittenberg signing off.